Corey is here. I don't know where he went. Oh, Corey! When would you go come on?
I didn't know we was teaming up on this. My bad.
Yes.
Uh, uh,
Corey's here.
I am here.
So I'm not by myself.
Mm-mm.
Scoot over a little
Oh,
bit, Corey.
Got a scooch.
Shout out to Corey being
What's
here.
going on, Jazz?
Nothing. What's up with you?
Shit. I'm answering. So I was in the process of answering somebody's question on IG.
Oh.
They wanted to know how to set up the pullover shortcut.
Oh,
on the
you have to set
iPhone.
it up. Oh, that's something good to talk about.
Mhm.
But I don't know if you guys have been seeing the videos saying like if you you don't have an iPhone, or do you?
I do have an iPhone.
Oh, you do have an
I
iPhone.
actually I've had it for a while. That little shortcut.
So
And
you
I
have to set it
accidentally-
up.
Yeah, you set it up because you have to set up your emergency contacts that you wanted to contact
Oh,
and call
okay.
and all of that. It's real easy, but it's
Mhm.
not as easy as that new post has been saying. It's not just saying Siri. I don't want to say it because then my phone's actually gonna.
Right.
I've already done it on accident.
Okay. And it's like.
And it goes dark and starts
Right.
recording everything, and it sends out the message and
Oh,
the video
wow.
to people. It's wild, but I had it a while ago. Like I said, and I accidentally, because I have it for my girl and my son and the homie, and they was all like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what happened."
Right. I mean, that's a good thing to have, though. I
Yeah.
feel like, well, I feel like that is Apple being in like solidarity with black
Well,
people.
shit, I just found out today, just on a whim. I hit up. Well, I could do this one. So I hit up Siri. Hey Siri, do Black Lives Matter?
Yes, Black Lives Matter.
That's what I'm talking about, Siri.
Matter.
Apple ain't playing.
Matter. We not about to be canceled by the black people. Wow, no, I haven't tried that though, but I do think it's dope that they have that. It is a need. Like I feel like that is showing that it's not a game.
Mm-hmm.
And it is necessary because, as we can see, police officers are literally killing people, and sometimes there are no cameras. So even like we talk about Breonna Taylor, even in her case, if she would have just been like, you know, hey, what if she wasn't pulled over, but there was something suspicious going on, even
They
if
would have
it's not a
knocked on
police
the
officer.
fucking door.
Well, they did. They never announced themselves. They were about to come in.
They came in regular clothes, no cameras. Like,
Right.
come on, man. And they say they did.
Mm.
The boyfriend is claiming that they did it. So who we gonna believe? Because
Right.
we know who lies in
Not
this situation.
them, right? Because
So-
who's gonna benefit from lying?
Right.
The boyfriend isn't. He lost his girlfriend.
Right.
So.
So
And then they said that he called the police, and somebody was like, "Who calls the police on the police?"
right. You come in plain clothes, and the thing is that he from what I've read, so I don't know where everybody's getting their information, but they said he shot first. He said he shot first, but he shot first because he feels like people are breaking into his
Right.
house. His gun was legal. There's no issue there. That's why
Right.
you have to let it be known.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Right. Yeah.
And shout out to him too because he's still dealing with shit too,
Right.
and losing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So we miss Brianna, we miss George, we miss all these
All
people.
of 'em.
Not only and also let's not forget the people that weren't killed, just
Yeah.
people that are victims of
Yeah.
police brutality. Period.
Yeah. Because there's the video. I don't know if you saw the one from in Compton. In May 31st. We went to a press conference today, and the actual victim was there, and I'm like, you know, I didn't really know what was gonna be taking place, but to like hear him and hear his grandmother speak about, you know, him still being here and what he's dealing with, and I'm like, wow, that's a powerful story. One, because like you said, there's people that have been through that stuff and
Right.
that are still alive, and they're talking about the police officers when they got him finally out of wherever he was, a holding cell. The police officers came to his house and like came and got his car, but told his grandmother, "Oh, we're doing a sweep on the whole block," but they only took his car, and it was the gang task.
Right.
So it's like, what are you guys doing? And then she said they come and flash their lights in her house all the time,
Yeah.
and they're coming antagonizing the family, and I'm like, those things are not okay. But you want us to
The thing is,
care.
we get numb to it. I'm victim of it. I
Right.
mean, I'm literally victim to all of it. Like I got stories for days. I can
Right.
tell. I've had to file a complaint against the police. I've been arrested while I was asleep in my own cousin's house.
Wow.
Asleep. And came in, took me in, and all of that. So, I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, and like I said, we get accustomed to it, and this is why we have to teach our kids how to, and nobody else has to do that. Oh, well, you have to do this, this, and that. I've taught my son what you have to do. I've gone through it over and over to get it into his head in case there's a police officer behind him. Right. Now, y'all can go with the, oh, well, all cops aren't bad, and obviously all people aren't bad. Yeah. So, I mean, but if you're just letting it go, then, like I said, I feel like that makes you a bad cop. Right. Even if you're letting the shit go. Right. I've ran into cops that have let me go off of something where I have done something wrong. Mm-hmm. And they're like, cool, and that's fine. But I don't care if you're the one doing that. If you're still letting a bad cop get away with doing the shit that he's doing, I don't care. Now
we have two bad cops that are on the table. Now that's good because, I mean, even when you think about, like, being a regular person, a lot of us don't let, bad things slide. Like, we're not finna just watch somebody get murdered and just sit there, and we're not getting paid, and we're not on the clock. Right. But they watched him, and then I saw one of the lawyers that is defending one of the officers. Bullshit. He was like, well, why didn't the public step in? And I'm like, once again, please allow us to remind everybody that you're talking about people that are on the job, and you're talking about the public who is going about their day.
And the public was trying to step in. Actually, they were yelling, "Let him go," and he can't breathe.
You're gonna witness a whole murder.
You step in more than that, you're gonna kill me too. Right. It's not just gonna be,
And what you have, I mean, he was there for 9 minutes, but you have 9 minutes. It's not enough time to contemplate whether you want your life or to go for someone like you don't even know, really.
Right.
At this point, I think a lot of us are on the fence of like, oh, well, maybe we will start stepping in because I'm not willing to lose another black person at the hands of the police. And then I'm going to have to just accept the fact that something might happen to me at the end of it. But it's like...
You see that happen, too. Like I said, you see people step in. They step in. They get fucked up, too. Like... It's a no-win situation, and guarantee if anybody would have stepped in that situation, the other cops it wouldn't have just been them sitting and watching. They would have been kneeling on that person too.
Because it was 4 that were kneeling on him, mm-hmm. and then there was one that was basically guarding them. Right. So the watch, he was guarding them, and like it's just like for me, I think we have to move differently. But I'm really hoping, and I don't want to like have empty hopes, but I'm hoping that police officers begin to move differently. And if not, then that means we just need to apply more pressure. And I'm not saying apply more pressure in legislature. I'm saying apply more pressure in terms of like we need to start dealing with stuff ourselves. We need to start letting them know like, okay, we're not letting this slide no more. So
I think we already got to that point. Like I said last week, I feel like there's already been a change. It's not the same.
I feel like it has been a change too.
I've heard people that were actually in the what is it? In the 60s, that went through with
like civil rights.
The civil rights march, and they're saying, even I'm hearing them say this feels more like that than anything else. Right. Like actual change is actually coming. So, I mean, it does feel different. I'm quite old myself, so
you're not old.
I do remember '92. I remember other things. I remember. People wearing the "I Can't Breathe" shirts the first time, which should be the only. Shouldn't be any situation, exactly.
Right? It shouldn't be another time, and
shouldn't have been the first time,
right? So, actually,
so it does feel different. I mean, it is different. Even we, we will try and as black folks be like, well, this has to stop. Even we have to admit to it that it's different this time. So, I mean, hopefully it just continues in that way, and it's not just all right, we got a good weekend or a good 2 weeks in, and we'll go back to normal or whatever.
Right. Because we can't. Because you will still have people who we're applying pressure to somebody, and we don't want for the pressure to be removed, and then those people feel like, okay, well, now I can go back to doing what, was happening before. I think they were talking about this before the pandemic, like going back to normal was not an option. And then now that we have the pandemic and then these riots, looting, and protesting, going back to normal is not an option. So I definitely agree that there is definitely a shift. I think we're getting a lot of people's attention. So hopefully we can continue to make strides so that we don't have to be talking about this at all.
Right.
Yeah, that would be like a pretty dope thing. But I feel like a commercial is coming on.
I didn't see the wrap it up sign. Behind the scenes,
I know
folks,
I didn't see.
there
Right.
ain't no wrap it up sign yet, so I don't know if there's a commercial coming yet. There he is. We got the head shake.
Well, until the commercial comes, I did want to ask you, because you were talking about how you deal with your son in these situations. So like how I don't have kids, but what has been the like evolving conversation that you had with him?
I just initially recently I just asked him, does he know why this is what's going on? I mean, he's 19. He's not an idiot. He's not like a kid.
Right.
So obviously he had to answer, and he's telling me, and like I said, went through over how to deal with the police again. Asked him if he wanted to go walk with us, walk with me on Saturday, and he did. Initially, he did want to, but he's still, because he has asthma, as do I. But he's still paranoid about the virus.
Okay.
So he chose not to, which I was like, it's fine. There's no pressure on you. Just, it's up to you, and do what you can for our people. Period. Like as long as you know what's going on,
right?
It's fine. But I mean, we have open conversation all the time. So.
No, that's good. I spoke with my brothers, my two younger brothers. They're 11 and 14. And was just asking them, like, oh, what was the conversations that they were having with our parents, and what did they think, and how has this affected them? Are their friends talking about it? And they were just like, yeah, we are. And then asking them, well, what do you think? Like, I don't know how to prepare them for the police officers anymore. And my only thing, which is sad, that I could tell them was like, okay, make sure mommy and daddy's number, at least one of them, and if something has happened, like, just yell the number out and be like, call my mom, call my dad.
Right.
At this point, it's like, okay, so what else, can we do? I definitely want to make sure, like, their phones are set up for the Siri thing. I've already went through their phones and set up their locations. Like, I can see them at all times. But I just was like, I think somebody told them, like, just do what the cops tell you to do and don't resist. And I'm like, that's not even enough at this point anymore. Like, I don't even want to give you false hope.
You got to start there. You got to comply.
I mean, yes, do all of that, but then even if it does get to that point,
you comply
some things.
Logically.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
comply logically. So
right.
do what they say until it's obviously it's too much. And then at that point, just you don't have to tell them any more than you think you need to.
Right.
You got to let them know your name and all of that information. If they ask for your license, give them the license.
Right.
The same thing I tell my son. I say, but if they're going too far, you'll know. If they're going too far, just let them know you need to talk to your parents. Don't do anything else. You need to talk to your parents, and that's it.
Nope, that's it. That's all. Because it's a scary thing. It's really a scary thing, and I think, at this point, well, before George Floyd, I think it was one of those things where we were very fearful. I'm hoping that those things have changed, like you said, to the point where we get to a more normal relationship between law enforcement.
It's changed. I don't want people to get it wrong. It's changed. It's not over. Like, we're still progressing, and we still got a long way to go.
There's still work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be done.
Right.
There we go.
Yes, and there's the commercial. So we will be right back talking about all of the current happenings, but this is Live at the Hub.
Hey, it's your girl Coco.
And it's your boy Kale.
And we have a special announcement for you guys.
Let them know.
All right. Welcome to Coco and Ko's Local Taste.
We're here to let y'all know where to go for the best local eateries in the Southern California area and have fun at the same time.
That's right, y'all. We have teamed up to bring y'all the best of the best locals. Okay? So follow us on this journey as we tell y'all who to taste and who to waste.
Whenever you're ready. Don't start shit. Siren. 45, 47. 45, 47. 45, 47. 45, 47. 45, 47. 45, 47.
Why Why should I care about the 2020 census?
Every 10 years, the census counts everyone living in the U.S.
Count everyone living with you.
Even kids.
Our numbers help shape funding and services.
For all these things.
That's a lot of stuff.
Your responses are safe and secure.
No matter who you are or where you're from.
We have reasons to care. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Hey, I'm that nigga. Pull up, you can be my bad splitter. Know the streets say I'm a bad nigga. Cause I'm a savage, not if I sag with you. Ayy, crack that code, maybe I can pass with you. Get on your toes, probably blow it back with you, yeah. We got the streets on lock, forever from the bottom, but we still on top.
Hey world, it's Coco and I'm the owner of Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes. Before I started my business back in 2013, I would bake for fun for family and friends. I enjoy baking so much, I decided to turn it into a business. And here we are, 6 years later and still in the game. But don't let the name fool you. Not only do I make delicious cupcakes, I also offer custom cakes, cookies, and chocolate dip treats. Oh, and I can't forget about my beautiful cupcake truck. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and sign up for our email list on my website to keep up with all things lip smacking.
Anthony Holt. I'm the founder of Pull Up Neighbor. When COVID hit, we had to make a pivot. Our mission now is to help underserved communities get PPEs and other supplies so we can all help protect ourselves and protect the communities who are most vulnerable.
We are here at a citywide mass distribution. They have graciously donated to the city of Compton to distribute masks throughout the community. So this is our first hub, and we're just allowing people to pull up and get some masks.
We are back.
You got it. I think you did it enough for us. But yeah, back. It's me, Jasmine Renee, and KO.
What's going on, folks?
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here.
It's gonna be a solo show, huh?
Yeah, it was. And I'm glad that I didn't have to do it myself because I wasn't prepared.
No, you should, because you be going giving them the flames when you do it by yourself. I should have just sat back there.
No, of course.
Yeah.
We need your
Nah.
But you were at the Compton March. That's also why you needed to be here because I didn't go.
Yeah.
You were at the Compton March. It looked dope, amazing.
It was.
Looked like it was so much unity, but what was your experience?
It was.
Was it not?
No, it was. No, because there's always something. Like it was, but it was minute.
The always something is
I mean,
positive after.
The always something is always somebody that's not gonna agree, and there's people, people were making it political because it was ran by the mayor, and it didn't even need. She wasn't making it political, but it was people that didn't disagree.
Oh, because they didn't
want to go
support
through.
The mayor.
Yeah, so it's whatever. It was minute. It really was. Okay. I mean, for the most part, 99% of the people there were there for positive reasons.
It's good. That's dope.
Yeah, and you seen big ups to everybody that came out, to regulars, the celebrities. We had celebrities there. We had Russell Westbrook was there, spoke on it. Yeah. DeMar came out for his city. Kendrick, and what I appreciate about Kendrick, I just want to say this out. he doesn't come. Like, everybody's been talking about him. I've seen it on social media. Where's K-Dot? Where's Kendrick? Da-da-da-da. And obviously, he's not there. He wasn't there for the publicity. He wasn't there to get the only picture I seen of him getting taken was because DeMar DeRozan asked to take a picture with him, and that one got posted. Other than that, he's not. He's out there actually for the cause and not for the publicity. So big ups to Kendrick for real, and big ups to everybody else that was out there.
Right.
Like still, like even if you're doing it for the wrong reason, you're doing a good thing.
Right. I think somebody told me over this weekend. There is power in numbers, and even with, let's say, like there are looters and rioters or whatever out there that may not be rioting for us, or because of the same reasons why we are. Those numbers, when you see the pictures, like I think YG did the thing, or even just the Compton thing, you see that we don't see that 1% that you're talking about that like got into it.
I look
All
at
you
it
see is the numbers.
I look at it like a Lance Armstrong situation. Dude's a horrible person, but he did a great thing for a lot of people. So, it weighs out.
I think we as people need to stop expecting so much of people. I think we've realized that a lot of our leaders have fallen short in a lot of areas, and just because they are fighting for the cause or they have advocated does not mean that they are like free from blame in other places of their lives, and we should.
Yeah, that only falls for us. That only holds down for us.
What do you mean?
As far as our leaders,
like
first of all, that really only goes down for us. That's
Lance Armstrong is white.
No, I'm saying like and you know what? He's gotten forgiven. Nigga just had a whole 30 for 30.
We hold on to it a little longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, because white people have been praising these presidents, and these presidents been owning slaves and all of that.
Yeah, no, everything else gets forgiven, but when it comes to us, it's a whole different situation.
That is true.
Oh.
Good point, Corey.
But like I said, the whole thing was real positive. Everybody's words was out there strong. The people were out there strong. It was no issue. Like everybody was expecting. Of course, they had the helicopters, they had the police out there, and they want us to have an issue, but nothing went off wrong.
I think that's
Everything
great.
went off
think
great.
That was definitely a history-making moment for the city.
Exactly.
That's dope. I was waiting for you to get on the mic and address the people.
Nope, not me.
Did you want to say anything to the people now, or?
Power to the people. No justice, no peace. All
No
that good
justice,
stuff.
no
And like I said earlier in the show, really, let's not just make this about. Let's not stop it where we're stopping. Let's not just make it about honoring the dead. Let's honor the living also.
Yeah.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop just the brutality. Period. Period. Point blank. The whole thing.
Blank. That's it. That's all. Thanks for that, Corey. Yeah, there were a lot of, like I said, the one that was on Hollywood and Vine.
By YG.
Yeah, that one was dope. I mean, it looked like it was a lot of people, and I think we are.
People.
Yeah, it was a grip of people, out for the cause, whether they were there for YG or there for us. We'll say thank you for doing that. We did the Breonna Taylor one. That was on
Shouts
Friday.
out to you, Jazz.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
You
killed that.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. I literally did not expect for it to be what it was, but definitely.
I had one thing. I was confused on it because I wouldn't have been able to make it out anyway, but I was confused when you put it out.
Because it said all black women.
Yeah, it said all black women. And I was like, our black women stand up for us all the time. You should. I just felt like it should be everybody, because we need to go out there and stand up for our black women that are being slain too. And because y'all are out there for us strong every single time. So, sometimes we got to take the bullet too. So I was just confused on it. I wouldn't, like I said, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it anywhere. I was at work, but I still saw guys coming out. So big ups to them.
So, and I'm definitely appreciative of that. It was for black women because it wasn't a protest. It wasn't. I mean, of course, it was going to bring awareness to Breonna Taylor's story, but it was her birthday, so it was also to create like a healing space for black women. But I'm grateful for the black men that did come out because, like you said, that showed me that they just wanted to be in support and they weren't coming and trying to like bombard or anything. Dre came, Pierre was there. There was just a few other men that just showed up, and Dre pulled up like with his homies. So like it was just good to have that support, like you said, and that's where I felt like it was from. Like we weren't going around because there was white people there too, and they said calling all black women, but white people showed up.
Yeah.
But but it was what it was, and the same thing for them. It just showed that they were in solidarity, and we did things where I called up just a black woman and we did our thing and we let them know, like, hey, this is not excluding you, but this was a space for us to heal. I didn't let anyone a black man didn't get on the mic, so you had to be black to say anything or to voice your opinion. That was like something, because it was specific for us. It was something where we needed a healing space for us. I know T is in there cracking up because they said I don't think I was going too hard, but I was letting them know, like, this is our space, so, like, respect it. You all get everything else.
You banged on the allies?
Did I bang on the allies?
You banged on the allies, Jazz?
Okay. I didn't bang on them.
No, T about to tell. T, tell the T.
Well, I'm just saying, when it was time to take a picture, she made sure she told them to sit down.
Wow.
They were already sitting down.
You about to take a picture. Y'all can take a picture later on, but right now it's just us.
Oh.
They were already sitting
They
down.
can't get on the mic. So black people mic. But thank you for being here, though.
So you went back to segregation days.
But you
Blacks
know you
only.
can be in this space, but recognize what's happening here. Guess I wanted them to know, but so many white people came up to me after showing so much that I'm like, I was like, T, I've never spoke to this many white people. Right, I've never hugged this many white people.
Like, thank you.
Right, thank you for this. So, I mean, they still hitting me up today, and it was on Friday. It's almost a week later. Right, no, seriously. Like, and somebody had made a post about it. He was just like, the organizer put it very blunt that we need to go home and deal with our children, and that's how we should fight in the movement. So, T is back.
I'm sorry. She acknowledged the white people there that had children.
Right.
And they got so happy, the parents started grabbing their children like, yeah, we did something good. Bob, Billy, we fucking teach you some shit, man. We here.
Right.
Talking about it.
Right, get your kids together. But it was
good.
Yeah, it was dope. It was beautiful. I'm very grateful. Grateful to T. T will tell you I was over there like, yo, T, I can't do this. I cannot do this.
That's a big reason for the allies and a big reason why this is so huge right now. And the difference is because a lot of this is the younger generation, and the younger generation isn't just going with what they don't like. They don't even like school. So they're not just going with what their history is in that book,
right?
And their social media. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest right now. As of right now, I get more accurate news from. And I don't even fuck with social media like that. Sorry, but I get more accurate news from social media than I do from, like, if I were to watch the news. The news is so split down the middle that you watch Fox, then it's just pretty much Republican. You watch. What is it, NBC, and then that's just Democratic, and neither one of them tell the truth about. Nobody's giving what's down
happening.
the middle, so you have to get it from another source, and that's where they're getting it from. So here we are.
Right, and I think that's a great point to bring up. Speaking of Breonna Taylor, who the Friday event was for, they had came out with her police report. And I don't think this is something that, I don't know, because like Corey said, I don't really be watching the news like that. But they came out with the police report. Remind you, Breonna Taylor passed away on the scene in her apartment. As you can see on the police report, it says incidents and it says none.
Right.
They wrote none there. And I'm like, wait, how does someone pass away? Or it says injuries or something.
Yeah, it has.
Injuries, and it says none.
Right.
And it's like, how does someone pass away and they said she was shot 8 times and you don't report on it? They said the report was 4 pages long and it should have been hundreds of pages. So I'm just like, but y'all want to keep sitting in our faces and making it seem like we're crazy for asking y'all.
It's the same thing, the George Floyd thing. They said that he died at the hospital. Like, no, he was dead there on the scene. Yeah, and if you read, oh my God, the police report is ridiculous. But this is another thing I've seen. Like I said, I've been in a situation where I got arrested and I got to look at the police reports and it's a full-on lie. Like, it's a full-on, dead-on lie. And there's always multiple police on the scene and they're all backing it up. And it's like, so what do you do?
Right.
They're getting caught because there's video. We have phones with cameras on them now. Before it was like
Right.
my word against yours, and who's
Right.
the judge gonna believe?
And right, and it's like, if y'all are willing to lie, knowing good and well that somebody was recording you, y'all didn't lie about a whole mess of stuff.
Right.
And y'all been looking us in our faces like, oh no, you know, y'all. It's not that we don't like black people, or it's not that we're doing this, and it's like, but these videos are showing something else. And when we go to the police reports, which is y'all documentation of what happened, it's showing that y'all don't really care. Like, you don't even care when we die. Like, Lord God. I mean, you guys are the one killing us, so I guess you wouldn't care.
Nah.
That's crazy. That's like beyond crazy. I do want to talk about, because you talk also about where like the younger generation is getting their information and it being on social media about the protests. So like, from what you've heard, I know what I've heard, but from what you heard, what have you understood that has changed from like the protests and the rioting and looting as of lately?
What do you mean?
Like, because we're saying that things are changing, so like, do you have anything like at the top of your head that has like actually changed in the past, like, well, it's been almost like 15 days.
Oh, I was talking about a lot of the rules and stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those changes. Yeah.
Changes as far as obviously people actually getting fired and actually going to jail. Because fine, they would put them on suspension, paid suspension before, stuff like that. They're getting fired and they're actually having to go to trial. Now let's see if they actually get convicted. We ain't there yet. We'll see. But they're going to trial. They're actually being, and that's because it's social. That's because it's on camera. That's because of social media bombarding people, and because of these protests bombarding people. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big believer in protests and all of that stuff beforehand, because like I said, I've seen it before and it just goes away.
Right.
But like I said last week, it's about consistency and continuing to do it, not just for a certain amount of time and then stopping.
Right.
So it's already being shown that they're trying to change laws in regards to this, and there's empathy involved now, and that's what was all. That's really what was asked before the equality, is be empathetic so that we can get to the equality.
Right.
So, at this point, like I said, I saw where the guy, even without this, with what's his name, Cuomo, out in New York, the mayor, and he's trying to get the law changed to where it's
illegal for like people to call.
Yeah, to call the police on something that would be considered a hate crime. So I'm like, that's big.
Yeah.
That
is.
Because that means there's consequence. So because if there's one thing those people do try to respect, it's they don't want to go to jail. They don't want to be in jail with the people that they hate.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think these are definitely good steps, and for me, I think there's a lot of people who have been saying like, oh, well, you guys need to go out and vote as a way to like provide solution for what's going on. But I think what we're seeing is all these things that are happening most people would have thought that they would have had to been put on a ballot and then change. But as you can see, when pressure is applied, those people that are making decisions can make these decisions quick. A few of them that I was able to see on social media, Minneapolis, they banned the chokehold, and that's something that has killed a lot of people. The charges were also upgraded for the officers involved in George Floyd's case. Dallas has introduced the duty to intervene, meaning if like cops are seeing something that is like the George Floyd case, now they have their like duty to intervene and stop it to protect like the
What's
citizens.
funny about this though is it's ridiculous that any of this needed to be changed.
Right, that it needed to be mandated. Like we need to tell you to try to keep somebody alive and you're a public servant. Like that's insane.
And then what you were saying about the voting. So my sister, she lives in Atlanta. And she was telling me, I asked her, she has a friend, black woman that I think she's trying to go for the DA, I believe, out there in Atlanta. And she was telling me that here's the problem, what you said. They feel like somebody was messing with the system out there so that people weren't even able to vote. But it was only in our neighborhoods that they're not able to. They're having issues with the polling and stuff, and so it was mandated that they keep it open later than what it would have been, like till 9:30 or something. So it's Yeah, they'll even when you're trying to do the voting and all of that, they'll still cheat. Let's put it like that. We know. Let's make it like a sport. They'll cheat.
Right. Because I think there are states that are doing their primary elections, and some state was recently, I think it was in Atlanta, they were voting a few days ago, and they were talking about we've been out here for hours and still had, they were saying like an hour or 2 hours more, and it's like, well, this is why people ain't voting. If it's gonna take me all this time, I gotta get back to my kids. You know, it was dark outside, and they were still waiting in line. So I'm like, there are systems there. There's a lot of systems that need to be fixed, and that's one of them. Definitely the word is slipping my head, but the voting system, actually being able to vote before even talking about what we can put on the ballot.
It's voter suppression. Call it what it is.
That is voter suppression, definitely. But New Jersey has also updated their use of force guidelines. One thing that we have been celebrating is the fact that LAPD has announced that they are removing $150 million from the police budget. But I was reading and doing some research on that. That $150 million was being added to the police department. So that's like me saying, "Ooh, Corey, I'm gonna give you $50," and somebody's like, "Well, Corey's a bad man. Don't give him that." Or like, "You're on my payroll." Right. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna add $50 to Corey's paycheck," and they're like, "Well, he's a bad man. We should take money from him instead of adding it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just keep my 50."
Right.
So you still get to keep like whatever it is that you have. So I think that they try to play us because they think we're dumb.
That's the other thing is that there's misinformation.
Yes.
In regards to like the defunding of the police that everybody's asking about. I haven't done a full amount of research, but I do know, I understand where people could get scared, and it sounds like off top, it sounds like, oh, so we're just not gonna have any police, and that's not what it is. It's about not giving, like you said, not giving as much money and focusing that money onto something else, and getting the police proper training, and like you said, changing some of the mandates that they have to do.
Right.
That's all it's about. It's not getting rid of the police.
No, it's not. And I think what defunding would also do is make them prioritize where they're spending their money at.
Exactly.
You look at education, and you look at public health. You look at these like fragile communities basically that are not receiving funding. These kids in these schools, when I tell you the funding is trash, when I tell you the experience that these kids are getting is trash, but then you're giving so much money to the police. I just feel like when there's less money, and we all know that when our money is looking funny, we're a little more responsible about where things are going, and I feel like they would be a little more responsible about where their money is going, who they're hiring, making sure that they're not carelessly putting people that would do something like the officer did to George Floyd.
And the other thing with the defunding of the police, which actually some officers would agree with because it's more it's taking certain responsibilities off of them, like having to deal with mentally challenged folks, because it's not your job. And you go out there and you don't know how to deal with it. But having people like therapists and actual doctors deal with that situation as opposed to them where then they get frustrated and want to kill somebody. So it's taking that away from you. So like I said, I've actually talked to one officer and he was like, I'm for that part. And I'm like, of course, like you don't want to have that responsibility if you don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
You throw too much on somebody, and So I'm all for the defunding of the police department.
I am too, definitely. But yeah, I guess when we come back, we can talk more about everything that's going on because there's so much. What's something that you think you want to talk about, Corey?
Oh, you just gonna put it on me like that? You know what? I'll let you know after this break.
Okay, so when we come back, Corey is gonna share what's on his mind and everything that's going on.
That's a teaser. That's what that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
Hey, it's your girl Coco.
And it's your boy Kale.
And we have a special announcement for you guys.
Let them know.
All right. Welcome to Coco and Ko's Local Taste.
We're here to let y'all know where to go for the best local eateries in the Southern California area. and have fun at the same time.
That's right, y'all. We have teamed up to bring y'all the best of the best locals. Okay? So follow us on this journey as we tell y'all who to taste and who to waste.
Whenever you're ready. Don't start shit.
Four to five, 4 to 7.
4 to 5, 4 to 7.
4 to 5, 4 to 7.
4 to 5, 4 to 7. 4 to 5, 4 to 7. 4 to 5, 4 to 7.
Why should I care about the 2020 census?
Every 10 years, the census counts everyone living in the U.S.
Count everyone living with you.
Even kids.
Our numbers help shape funding and services.
For all these things.
That's a lot of stuff.
Your responses are safe and secure.
No matter who you are or where you're from.
We have reasons to care. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov.
Hey, I'm that nigga. Pull up, you can be my bad splitter. Check up. Know the streets say I'm a bad nigga. Cause I'm a savage, not if I sag with you. Ayy, crack that code, maybe I can pass with you. Get on your toes, probably blow it back with you, yeah. We got the streets on lock. We forever from the bottom, but we still on top.
Hey world, it's Coco and I'm the owner of Coco's Lip Smacking Cupcakes. Before I started my business back in 2013, I would bake for fun for family and friends. I enjoy baking so much, I decided to turn it into a business. And here we are, 6 years later and still in the game. But don't let the name fool you. Not only do I make delicious cupcakes, I also offer custom cakes, cookies, and chocolate dip treats. Oh, and I can't forget about my beautiful cupcake truck. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and sign up for our email list on my website to keep up with all things lip smacking.
Anthony Holt. I'm the founder of Pull Up Neighbor. When COVID hit, we had to make a pivot. Our mission now is to help underserved communities get PPEs and other supplies so we can all help protect ourselves and protect the communities who are most vulnerable.
We are here at a citywide mass distribution. They have graciously donated to the city of Compton to distribute masks throughout the community. So this is our first hub, and we're just allowing people to pull up and get free masks.
We were talking
they don't need to know.
They
don't know to know our ignorance.
Right.
God damn it.
Yeah, we're being a bit ignorant today. Yeah. So, Corey, did you figure out what you want to talk about? The koala bears?
Put me on. No, I'm not going to talk about the koala bear. Shout out to Australia.
I wish there was like
our
a
listeners.
noise that, like, that's what our in-house DJ says. That's what we're going with. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about more of black stuff or protests.
More black stuff.
Right. But were you inspired to go to any more protests after you went to Compton?
That's a good question. I did feel like it wasn't enough that I did, but I tend to feel that way about a lot of stuff.
You don't do it, you just
no.
halfway
It's
do
not
it.
I halfway do it. It's just that it's never enough. You don't feel the change within yourself. Like, oh, I went out there and now that's it. Like I did donate. I've donated already to towards the Bell Project cause. Like I said, I went on the walk. Actually, I almost went out on a walk. There was one walk. Actually, you know what? Yeah, here's a story. So, last week, I live in Bellflower. So, last week, and I live on Alondra Boulevard, like a main street. And I was off or whatever. And I went to grab food. And on my way back, I seen the protesters coming up my street. And I'm like, shit, I got to get parking. Because I'm not going to be able to drive. So I see them coming. I park real quick. I head up my stairs or whatever, come back with my food, and I'm looking down the stairs. And, man, that thing was so beautiful. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of protesting because, honestly, in my mind, I've seen it. It doesn't do much. It's just something it's something that they want us to go out and do and go ahead and get your frustrations out. There you go. Here you go.
Right,
Have
like a
this.
parent.
Yeah, here's a piece of cake. Go ahead, eat it. You're good. But now that we're a nuisance, which is the point of it, we are actually doing something. It is doing something. I have to come back around on that at this point.
Good. I think a lot of people are revisiting some of their thoughts that they had in the beginning, whether it comes to like protesting organizations or protesting certain like stores or corporations. During this time, I've seen a lot of people like revisit things that they were anti-protesting before. So
true, but even with the stores and stuff like that, here's the other thing. What we talked about earlier, with all the good comes the bad too.
Yeah.
Social media and people getting news from social media. Make sure you fact check some of that shit.
Yes.
Because we'll boycott something and it. No, Siri. No, baby girl.
Siri
I'm not
is
talking
ready.
to you right now.
And the cops there, I'm filming. Like,
so,
Siri is ready.
Yeah, make sure y'all fact check. Like, that seems to be a black thing too, I noticed. Like, we don't. Like, we don't fact check.
Well,
and we'll get
people ain't fact checking either. All this
they
stuff
not,
they've been
but
doing
we'll
to
go
us.
into an argument without without any type of weaponry, no ammo whatsoever. Just I heard like
I heard the
bruh.
McDonald's up the street was
Right.
kicking niggas out.
Right, yeah,
Like,
and that's not it. Or
niggas ain't even in
you'll
there
see
'cause it's a
people
pandemic.
reposting I seen like Tyrese reposted a video about this girl. I think what was it? I'm trying to remember, but this girl getting kicked or whatever by the police. Now, mind you, still not right, but he was like, "This happened this weekend at this protest," and the shit was like from 3 years ago. I'm like, bro, come on, man, you gotta
also
fact
is
check.
something where there are a lot of there's a lot of other videos that are coming up that maybe didn't go viral and now they're going viral because
Right.
people are looking for that.
Right.
And it's like, 2016. It's like it's still wrong. We still need to research
Right.
this, but it didn't happen now. And there's enough happening now for us to like say, there's stuff that needs to change. But
I got a question for you,
Sure.
actually. How do you feel about? I don't know if this is part of the cancel thing, but like people getting in trouble for stuff that they did years past, like, and it's not. I'm not on no Bill Cosby thing, like rape.
Right.
I'm saying like
racist.
like a bad tweet. You know what I'm saying? Like that was 8 years ago. Like these, there's pros and sports pros that did stuff, and when they were in college or even high school, and then they're getting in trouble for it. This guy, there's a show called The Flash, and the guy got fired a couple of days ago because he posted some racist and misogynist tweets like 4 years ago. I think it was 2016, so like 4 years ago, and he got fired. And it's like, damn, I'm kind of torn on that. Like, I get it, especially if people can change, and you have to give a person the opportunity to change. But at the same time, shit bites you in the ass.
Right. I think you have to be mindful of what you do, and I hope in this day and age, especially of social media, I don't think when a lot of people were more freely being racist on social media that maybe wanted to like hide it.
Right.
They didn't understand the power of it,
Right.
and especially now. And also cancel culture is something that has like just now surfaced.
Right.
We weren't doing that before. So my thing is, I think right now a lot of companies are trying to make examples out of people, and then also I saw a post that was like, they ain't trying to lose the black people's money, and we spend a lot of money in a lot of these places.
The thing is, though, I feel like it's a slippery slope. Like
in terms of,
honestly, you could probably go back on some of our stuff, the Hub Radio, and find shit that I've said, and post that shit right now. And God, yo, they could probably like it's not necessarily anything, like because you can say some stuff is acceptable at one point in time and not acceptable at a later. Kobe Bryant got in trouble for he called a referee the homophobic slur. And then ended up getting in trouble, apologized for it, and actually put in the footwork to. Now he wasn't just Kobe is Kobe, so put in the work. He put in the actual work to be like, no, put in money, raised awareness on it, fine. But if the reason he probably said it is because it was acceptable at a time when we were kids. I used to say it all. I used to call my brother that all the time, call me back, all of that. We used to be, you say homophobic slurs all the time. It wasn't no problem. You move up, you know what I'm saying? You get to a point now where that's not acceptable, and it's like, damn, but you pulling shit from back then.
Right. I mean, for me, and I might be biased or whatever, but for me, when you are saying those racial slurs or whatever, and you are tweeting about that, like, to me, those things ring differently. And it's one of those things like, okay, yeah, you can change. And I'm also torn between like you losing your job. It's one thing for you to go and say something now today, and then they fire you,
right.
Today. But then also I question like your job knows you, your boss I assume knows you, and I feel like if they know that you have changed, maybe they're willing to be a little more lenient.
Right.
And like say, well, okay, this is not acceptable. We're gonna put out a statement. You put out a statement, whatever. But if your job knows that you have been tiptoeing on that line and these tweets come out, I was like, oh nah, this dude is like, it's like we gotta go.
A lot of times a company is evil too. Let's keep it 100.
Right.
And they'll be like, let's just use him as a some are.
They won't support a black person, but they will support a white person that has misused language. So if you white and you get fired for using a racial slur, you probably are guilty, even if it was 10 years ago. You probably are, because they will protect you.
Like I said, I think I'm still on the fence on that one because, like I said, if you pulled it back from us, me, and like, you could get it. Well, I don't want to put Dre in it. Let me not be the snitch.
Dre.
Me. You could probably get me on some Me Too shit. You feel me? Like.
Wait.
Just saying some of the wrong.
Corey.
No. Just like saying, but that's my point. Like saying the wrong shit, but it wasn't out of pocket at that time. Whatever. But now, you like, yeah.
Don't run for president.
I ain't tripping. I mean, shit, I might get the job actually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. The only things you gonna get on me is the way I talk to white people.
That's one point.
I'm not really looking for.
Okay, but you're saying that now. Let's say 10 years from now, like we're super hyper. We're already hypersensitive. We're super hypersensitive. No racial discrimination whatsoever towards any race, whatever. Blah 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 blah. And you're cool with it because you like, cool, we got equality. I'm not saying nothing bad about white people, da da da. And then that shit comes up 10 years from now. And they're like, oh, whatever job you got, jazz. Ooh, back in 2020, and you didn't let the white people come talk on the mic. God. Right. And you good with them at this point. You like, man, we all equal, we good. And you like, but I mean, that was then we was trying to get someplace and da 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 da. But they like, yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's a foul situation.
There was no, I think, but also what you have to look at is there's no intent, and there was something I'm hoping that it comes to my mind because I'm like jogged right now. But I was thinking about like when white people are racist racist or when they're like discriminatory towards us, it's for no real reason. It's for like made up thoughts. But when we say stuff about white people, it's because of the things that they have shown to us in our history. So that for me, really like, even when people are like, oh, you're racist, but it's like, what? More racist than them?
Yeah.
You can call me more racist than them. Can't be. So I think that when people talk about like, oh, well, we can't do this as black people and expect for them, like, no, but what is their hatred stemming from? Ours is like, you've hurt us for so many years. There's so many black people who are mourning
Their hatred
the
is
death
fear,
of George Floyd.
We know what
it is. We don't even know that man.
But we know what it is from them. Their hatred
Right.
is fear,
Right.
and they're afraid that we're not asking for equality. We're asking for revenge, and we're not. Just want to be on the same fucking
And
level.
like they've been saying, they are lucky that we are not asking for
We-
revenge.
they-
Because if we were,
they're
we would
lucky
all
we
be
not
out
them.
there, everywhere, looting
Yeah.
everything, looting white people's houses.
We
if it was revenge,
we
we
don't
looking
support
for
that at all.
Nat Turner.
No.
You don't support looting white people's houses.
I don't support.
I'm not
support
saying we do that.
unnecessary.
I'm saying if we
So
was
I was
talking
worried about me at
revenge-
first with the Me Too situation, but now you know what? I'm good.
I'm saying we was talking about revenge, but we're not. We just want like equity, basically. It ain't. We just want equity. We don't want revenge because if we did want revenge, then we would be knocking on your doors.
Right.
Yeah. And if they want to come get me, they can come get me for it. My brand is New Black History Makers, so it ain't really catering to white people. But yeah.
Here.
So. Corey, you supposed to like follow up. With
Here at the Hub Radio, we support all. We love everybody that loves us. But if you don't fuck with us, we don't fuck with you. Period. Point blank.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing crazy. Announcements. So. Wow, just went blank. I see it up there.
What you say?
I'm going blank.
Juneteenth.
Yes, Juneteenth. We did the event on Friday for Breonna Taylor. People asked for something else, so we are celebrating Black Fathers. So Corey,
Father's Day.
you can come. Do you work on Saturdays?
But why Father's Day always gotta share shit? We gotta share graduation.
Well, wasn't nobody giving y'all nothing?
I'm talking about like graduation, right?
Oh.
We share the month with like if you go to a Hallmark,
Juneteenth.
it's always Father's Day and graduation. Now Juneteenth, I don't mind sharing. That's
Okay.
fine. You know, black before, black on the same level as being a father, obviously. But but damn it, I'm tired of share. Mothers Day get their own shit.
Well, we didn't do a Mother's Day event.
But they get, you know why? Because they get their own shit.
I'm a product of having a great father, so I believe that Black fathers should be celebrated. So that's what we're doing. It's at Bruce's Beach. I gave the description. I don't know if I gave it, so I guess I'll give it again. Bruce's Beach is a originally black-owned beach. We're going there, reclaiming our time, reclaiming our space because it was once owned by us. And we're gonna just have a good time. So I think a lot of us have been in like fight mode, and we've been like emotional wrecks and all of that.
And it falls right between Juneteenth and Father's
It is.
Day.
It's right in the middle. Thank you
Saturday.
for acknowledging that. Because Father's Day is the next day, and Juneteenth is the day before. So it's on a Saturday. It's at 4 p.m. Corey is coming because he's going to be celebrated. So be there. DJ Gamma Ray, can we expect for you to be there? No, it's Juneteenth too, though. But you can still celebrate Black fathers. And we're asking that you also bring a card for a Black father. Not like bring a card for the father that you come with, but bring a card for another Black father so we can like collectively celebrate them. So that is that. It's on the 20th. It's a Saturday at 4 p.m. Do we have any other shout out to everybody else?
This weekend, our first episode should be dropping. Me and Coco and KO. Local taste.
Yes,
our first
I'm excited
episode
for
should be
that.
dropping.
Can you like give us a little teaser? Like, what are you guys tasting?
Chicken sandwiches.
Chicken sandwiches.
You know, the whole Popeyes and Chick-fil-A and all
Did
that
you guys
shit.
go to Popeyes?
Hell no. But every chicken sandwich we had,
Was
we
fire.
both had the Popeyes and the Chick-fil-A. But every chicken sandwich we had was better than the fast food. Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah, we ate it on
it's
the air.
pre-recorded.
We ate it on the air. Hey, everything was all. We went to 4 different places. I can't give y'all too much, but yeah, we went to 4 different spots, and we give you a winner.
Saturday.
At the end.
What time?
Not sure yet. Not sure yet. We got to discuss it with Dre. Yeah, we got to discuss that with Dre. But it's coming out this weekend.
He should be watching since this is his stuff.
I'm assuming he's busy. There's a reason he's not here. I would assume there's a reason that he's not here.
There is a reason, and the reason does not include him not being able to watch. Hey, Brittany. I don't know. Okay. Oh, we only got 19 seconds. All right, so is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Shout out to everybody.
Thank you, Corey.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jazz. Jazz always holds it down. And T. Oh, my God. T always holds it down.
Shout out to the intern. I don't think we've ever mentioned RJ on
Oh, yeah,
here.
we got a new intern.
Woo-woo!
Yeah, he holds it down. Yeah, we got some hold down people. Hold downable people here.
Hold down. That sounds like Me Too. That's a little Me Too-ish. But yeah, that's it with KO and Jasmine Renee. Thank you, T, for engineering, DJ Gameray for being in the building, and the intern RJ for being here and supporting us. We really appreciate it. But we're signing off next Saturday. Time will be coming soon. Just keep checking the Hub Radio all day on Saturday.
We'll let y'all know.
And we'll be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Peace, y'all.